Sunday night, I was sitting here and it got a real hit from one of your videos. I don't know which one it was. And I've been involved in what do you call it, non-duality for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a bit fed up. um, I know all the jargon. I know all I've listened to Sailor Bob and mooji
Mm,
and blah, 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 blah.
mm,
Um, and when I do connect here, I
mm,
do feel it.
mm-hmm,
And I know the thoughts are just coming and going.
mm-hmm,
They're not real. And I see in my life,
mm-hmm.
things just happen. There's no need for my mind to say anything. They just happen and
Great.
that, right?
Mm,
But the thing that frustrates me the most is that when I listen to people, they all seem very happy, all going around smiling and happy. I do know that life just continues, and that, like as you have said in one of your videos, you have to work or you have to pay the bills, and life just happens, and blah blah blah. But it frustrates me so much that,
mm,
like you say, you feel expanded, and
mm,
that the world, and not only you, I mean other people,
mm-hmm,
they feel the world is beautiful and all of.
mm-hmm. That's not showing up.
No, it's very frustrating,
Yeah.
and I know we all do it at our. It all happens at its own speed. I know that, but
Mhm. So shall we just really have a look at the frustration?
okay,
Because it seems to be the main theme.
yeah,
Some sort of contraction, some sort of resistance to what's already here appearing.
yeah,
So if we maybe just do a little exercise to begin with,
okay,
of just opening up to the pure potential of the moment, not needing it to be any way. And you've indicated that you've recognized that life's just happening, thoughts are appearing, they can be adopted or not. You didn't say that, but it seems to be that's
yeah,
getting the intuition that that's what's happening because you're aware of the thoughts. But then there's potentially thoughts that are being adopted. There's frustrations bit arising, and then there's an adoption of that. I'm frustrated. There's some sort of ownership of the frustration, some sort of you never are that, but that's how life can experience
yeah, yes, yeah,
itself. It's experiencing itself. So what we're going to do is open up to this expansiveness that you potentially are not experiencing.
hmm,
So the way that I point to that is to open our focus, because when we're narrowed down, we've got that subject object mode in place, which we all adopted. Infinite being adopts that in order to play this game of individuality. So
hmm,
we never leave this individual experience. It's the infinite being experiencing itself individually. So we don't lose who we are. It's just we recognize this individual is actually the infinite being. And the way we forget that is when subject object mode is in place. So it's the narrowing of the view, then we go towards an object. Now we've got this and that. Now we've got I'm frustrated. Frustration arises, a thought arises, and there's ownership because there's this subject object. There's a little me already been adopted. So
hmm,
when we open up to the broader view, we're just letting go of that idea of a me, a limited idea of what we are. And we're starting to recognize our formless nature that's fundamental.
hmm,
So it's a matter of going to peripheral vision, this broader view rather than the narrow view. So we're dropping that subject-object mode in this broader view. There's just awareness of all the forms. They're just here. We're not going towards them and labeling them and creating a story about them. They're just all just effortlessly here. There's a sense of, instead of this leaning forward, trying to get something, there's this sense of the opening of the view gives rise to this sort of relaxation, this resting back. A little bit like you've done a big long journey and you've driven for 4 hours and you've arrived home. And there's that, I made it, without then needing to do anything else. Eventually you gather your bits and you grab your phone in your bag and off you go. But prior, just in between that moment of just like, the realization that you're home and that you've completed that long journey. So can you feel into that sense of, that's almost surrendering to the moment. The moment doesn't need to be any different. So it's not something we think about. It's the felt sense of it. So this broader view, if you've got this expansive broader view, so there's a peripheral vision, you are now experiencing the peripheral, not just the narrow. Yeah. So that's your direct experience that you're now in a mode that's taking in the entire view. Okay, great. So then can you feel that grasping, that getting, that need? There's something I need to get. And then the opposite, can you feel into already okay? Already home? That resting, that they're letting go of the grasping. There's nothing that needs to be done. Already home. It's almost like we drop all that grasping. There's a relaxation of the physical form. So we've got the open view and the relaxation. And then we can feel like we're focused in the head trying to work things out. But we can just drop that. Like you said, you can drop that into the heart center. Yeah. So there's no trying to work it out. There is just this sense of already okay. What if we didn't need to know anything in this moment? Could we be okay not knowing? Not this little one that needs to
Yeah.
get something, because the heart is the knowing anyway. It's the knowing of everything. When the mind's rested down and it's not in subject to object, contrast, compare, it's just like this open field of knowing. And so the wisdom arises and it can contrast, compare in this very beautiful, oh, how about this? Or how about that? That could be a nice thing to do. It's just offering rather than, right, I've got to do this, I've got to do that, it's got to do that. We've adopted an I and we're in this got to get, got to get. But this is already whole and complete, already okay. Done that big long journey, I'm already home. How do I want to play now? From this already okayness. So it's just the felt sense of that, not the trying to work it out. That what if we just said, I'm okay not knowing? That I'm okay just resting as what I am now, effortlessly. The felt sense of that. So from that expanded, relaxed, rested back view, there's just this sense of being, the felt sense of just being, not mentally trying to work out what being is, not creating somebody going to being and somebody resting in being. This is just literally being.
Yes.
It's just being. So we don't have to do anything with it because being is already happening. It's already here. It's already just this. Again, there's like that relaxation. There's nothing to do.
Um, this is a story. I know it's a story, but
Okay.
I lived in Australia for a very long time, and I've been back in Dublin for a while, and I want to go back to Australia. I'm fed up in Dublin. It's too
Hmm.
cold, too miserable here, blah, 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 blah.
Hmm.
And I'm hanging on to that. I know I am. And that's what broke me on Sunday night. I'm aware I'm hanging on to that because I'm afraid I won't get it. And I know it's silly. And I know I'm probably mad to even think of doing it. But when you say everything is okay, my mind goes to that. But I can't.
To needing to go to Australia,
Yeah,
to
yeah.
needing to so Australia is going to bring you happiness. Australia is going to sort everything out. Is that what it is? Is
Well,
that
basically, yes,
yeah.
yes, yeah,
So there's not saying that Australia won't be a lovely thing to do, from this, oh, how about Australia? Oh, that's a nice thing to do. So it can arise from intuition. Oh, that would be lovely to go there. It's so much warmer and more relaxing. Da, da. That's great. But then the mental, mode gets hold of it. Oh, how am I going to do that? And I need to do, oh God, I'm going to have to sort out all of this. And I can't, ah,
yeah,
and I can't do
exactly,
it. And it's so hard. And I don't know how I'm going to do it. And I just want to be there. And why can't it be here already? It's feeding this story of lack and limitation.
totally,
Yeah.
totally. And
And what you fundamentally are is totally free. If Australia is where you're going to be, you're going to be there. What's going to unfold without all this rearranging the furniture to make it happen?
it's driving me mad. Do you know what I mean? It's constant, all day, every
Yeah,
day.
it's like that's your invitation. That's your dominant invitation.
Yeah.
So what that's doing is that's an invitation to limitation. So what you are is totally unlimited in this vast open space, rested back, that felt sense of already okay. Did you feel that? That what
Yes,
you that
yes,
is already okay. So from already okay, you can move towards what feels nice, like David Bingham says. You know David, don't you?
yes,
I'm
yes,
guessing, yeah. He'll say just make the day the nicest possible. But what are you feeling like? What's being presented? Yes, there's work to do, but in what way? It's that effortlessness instead of this, oh, I've got all this to do, and how am I going to do it? And I need to do it all. I've got a better write a list, and I better tick it all off, and I best do the hard things first, because that's what I should be doing. Rather than, okay, so I've got all of this to do. Well, how does life want to unfold? We're not ignoring all the things that need to be done, the tax return and the thing that's all there. And you might find yourself doing the tax return first. You might find yourself cleaning the bathroom. I don't know. It's just we're just not in that caught up in that limited view, and then we're in a mode where it just flows. And we start to do the tax return at the perfect time. And it unfolds so quickly, and you've got this mountain in your head, and it was so quick. And you're
hmm.
like, well, why did I put that off for weeks? When I actually did it, and
Yes,
it took me 2 hours.
I
And I was
know. I've done
putting it
that.
off for weeks and weeks. I know that. That's why, and I know the two ways of doing it. And I'm like, oh, really? Was it that easy? And I've been putting it off for all that time. The mind's been making a mountain out of it.
Yes,
You're
yes,
starting to see how mental activity is a limitation on what we already are. There is already the knowing of the moment. There is already intelligence that's infinite here. And this form of intelligence is limited, is got this conditioning of it's got to be this way, it's got to be that way, you have to do it this way. It's, you know what it is? It's effort.
yes, yes.
It takes effort to do it that way. So we're limiting our potential and sort of getting in our own way.
Limiting our potential. Okay, okay, yeah.
Because in this open view, there is just pure potential. We haven't created a me that's limited and now got to do it in this way that's conditioned. Got to work hard for your money, you got to strive. Whereas in the pure potential of the moment, like you said, things are just unfolding. You've recognized that. There's the stuff's unfolding. Life is, because what I've recently recognized that as soon as we adopt this sort of lens of separation, so we've got this we're having a human experience, infinite beings having a human experience from this vast open view. And this is what David calls effortless being. Rested in the heart, there's unity. So so instead of this subject object, what I'm saying, when you speak, I see infinite being speaking, saying it's frustrated. And so I'm just saying, oh, it's infinite being just having an experience of limitation, but also telling me how expansive it is, how it knows life's unfolding. So it's showing me the different modes that infinite beings operating in it. And I'm the same infinite being. I haven't adopted subject object. I haven't adopted, well, there's a Colette here who's got to help Elizabeth. Elizabeth needs to wake up to the whole truth. She needs to see clearly. That would be a limitation. I would be adopting
Oh, yes, yes, yes,
Yeah, it would be limiting how I
yes.
can help you. Whereas when you're speaking, I'm just this open field. And then words are just coming out. I'm talking to myself, but a unique expression of myself, of the oneself. So it actually starts to become fun then,
Right.
because I
Yes.
know there's
Yeah.
a secret going on here. We're all the same one thing. But soon as we adopt this lens of separation, that's when we're now, okay, now we're pointing subject object mode. So now there's this projection into the world. So infinite being is projecting this limitation through this lens of limitation, you know. So it's like, how am I going to do it? And there's an I now that's got to do it. So there's a doer, there's effort, and there's an I, and there's organization, and it's just like we're in thick mud now. We're making the potential is limited. We're just, you know, we're climbing the mountain. We've got all these beliefs that you can't just do whatever you want. You've got to be responsible. So what we're doing is, let me just see if I can get this across because I haven't really spoken about it very much. We're then creating a story of limitation and experiencing from that story of limitation. You know, consciousness. We're now playing in the treacle. We're now playing in the game. We've adopted that we're separate, and we're playing this game of separation. So we're projecting all those, and everything is appearing as that. So you think, well, hang on, yes, finances aren't good. Yes, all of that's you. Well, it's true, but that's because we're in subject-object mode. We're already limiting the infinite potential. So the story is being rewritten and rewritten. So we're getting the same thing, the same thing, the same patterns of behavior, the same. Our experience is the same.
So
Can
we're kind of, if you can put it, we're kind of taking that big energy and going
you
onto this one thing or two things
tiny
or
little
whatever.
like
It,
a hose is now just got a
yeah.
trickle instead of full on. We've bent it over and now it's limited. And now we're going, well, why is it all so limited? And why is it so awful? And why is it so hard? And why can't I do anything with this little trickle? And I'm on my own and I need to, surely I've got to organize it. Surely I can't just sit back and do nothing. And because we're already adopted the I that's got all this terminology and these limitations. But when we rest as infinite being, which you've experienced because you are it, but you've also experienced just being in these first two filters where there's this open view and there's thoughts appearing and disappearing prior to adoption.
Yes.
Yes, so they've not been adopted, they've not been personalized, because what you are right here, right now, in this open view, rested in your heart center, is impersonal awareness, yeah.
Yes. Yes.
And the thoughts are personalized, so they can't be yours. But the one
I know that on some level. I know that. But
yeah. But what you are is infinite being. Yeah.
yes.
You
Yes.
are the knowing of it,
Yes.
not a person that knows. You are the knowing
Yes.
of all that arises. And it's effortless. That knowing is effortless. We don't need to engage your mind. If I say to you, are you aware? You
Yes.
just are. And you recognize being is just here. And also, you know, so I say, are you aware? Well, yeah, you're just obviously and effortlessly aware that you're aware, aren't you?
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's awareness aware of itself. That's the most basic form of awareness. It's not personalized. It's just the simple knowing of the moment, awareness aware of itself. Just aware that it's aware prior to any adoption of anything, any frustration. So I think the frustration is just being identified with
Yeah.
because there's an awareness of frustration. Yes. So and I'm getting that the inspiration to go to Australia was inspiration, but the mind's got a hold of it.
Probably. Yeah.
And
Yes.
then it's delivering all these limited invitations of how it can and can't do, and it must be this way and it must be that way, and you can't go till this is done and that's done.
Are you reading my thoughts?
Probably just the same as everybody's, you know what I mean? Limitation.
Yes.
So it's a matter of resting in effortless being. Some let's see what wants to come. because everybody has this sort of own way of recognizing it and resting as it. You know, do you have a way of recognizing this fundamental nature that you are?
Now I go here to my
Go to
heart,
the heart center. Great.
and it sorry, it doesn't quite feel permanent if like my attention is not always there. That's what I mean.
No, but when your attention is there, that's always there.
Yes, yes,
Yes. Yes. So let's just sit with that. When
yes,
attention is home, you're always home.
yes.
Yeah. So we're just going to recognize that. We can
Mm.
so quickly adopt a mind to try and then go but. Let's just recognize when our attention is home, we're always home. So with our attention on home, can you leave home? With attention on home, not going to thought, because that'll string you a story of leaving. Right here, right now, can you leave what you are?
No.
No. Can you see that? Great. So you can't leave what you are because where would you be going? Because there's nothing outside of you, is there?
Yeah, no, no.
No, no.
Silly
And
even.
then, is your awareness confined to a body mind? Feel it, don't think it. Where does your awareness end? You said it's not personal. Where does it end? If you keep feeling out, it's just
Yeah,
infinite. It doesn't have a boundary, yeah?
yeah.
That's the expansiveness. So, yes, it was there, just being overlooked. What you are is vast and open and totally free.
I'm getting the shivers.
Pardon, I missed that bit.
I'm getting the shivers.
Yes, I got shivers exactly the same. Yeah, when I pointed it and I saw you notice it, I went shivery. Yeah. 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 Ah, you're free. You're totally free from all of those movements. All the backwards and forwards is appearing in you. And the attention is going towards it and adopting it and saying, I'm going backwards and forwards. I'm not always in my true nature. The mind is just telling a story, but you can't leave what you are. And what you are is infinite. Yeah. So what we've noticed is it's down to attention. That your attention goes towards your heart center. That's unity consciousness right there. Unity consciousness. What actually is this? What actually are you? You don't go to a mind. You just directly experience what you are. You know, and what you are in the absolute can't really be spoken about. It can't be labeled. Is there a sense of that?
Mm.
Yeah, that's your absolute nature. You don't know what it's not something, it's not apart from you, so it can't be labeled. It's not a thing. What you are, that's your absolute nature. Has no qualities. It's attributeless. You might have heard David say that.
Yes.
Yeah, can you see that? Can you recognize that? So not in mind. So
See,
attention goes towards subject object, and what we're doing is we're turning the attention to what we are. Oh, oh, what we are, what you are. But there's no words for it. It just is.
it nebulous, isn't it? It's is it nebulous? It's well, you can't
It just
really.
can't even be described because it's not a thing.
Yes, yes.
And it doesn't have an opposite to reflect on.
Hmm.
So is then this game of duality, what it's creating, this game of manifestation, but it's only ever itself appearing. But it's creating these opposites in order to know itself. So
Yeah,
it gets to know itself as, so it recognizes bound, contracted and limited in order to know actually the closest, the most subtlest manifestation of itself is freedom. So it gets to know freedom because it's experienced being bound. That's the
yeah.
world of duality.
Hmm.
But actually, what we just looked at, what we are is attributeless. So there is a sense. that it's not even in the game of duality. What we are is an altered. Like you might have heard them say the movie screen can have a fire on it, can have a love scene, can have a meadow, whatever. But the movie screen is unaltered by whatever appears.
Yes, yes.
So what you fundamentally are, is attributeless and totally unaltered by the drama in the game, and the frustration in the game, the push and pull in the game. You're totally unaltered.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you had a guy on, and Mooji says he does a meditation, and he says when you're in meditation, he was saying, can it die? And you know immediately, boom, no,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's not born. It
no,
just is.
just is.
It's timeless.
Yes.
So it's the same awareness when we were 5, 15, 25. It's been the same awareness. It never was personalized, but it can just have a personalized experience.
Mm.
But it remains the timeless, formless, effortless being. So we drop down into the heart center. We don't need to think about it. This is the field of knowing. It's the pure potential of life to experience itself without effort. Just being, not somebody being, just being.
I can feel my shoulders drop.
Yeah.
I'm like this when something comes up, and I can feel my shoulders
Yeah.
drop when.
Just relaxing into what you are, because it's like we rise up as this idea of a separate self that's clenched, and then
Yes.
we recognize the truth, and it's this some sort of melting
Mm.
into what we ever all we've ever been.
Mm.
This sense of contraction, this sense of a me, just starts to melt, and that's where you recognize the expansiveness, that the awareness isn't bound to the physical form. It's total freedom. It's out the window. So if you've got a window, that you're not confined to the room or the infinite.
Mm.
So what you are is outside of the window. And we've just been limiting it, but it's only ever been the infinite being. There's nobody getting anything wrong. Because on the spiritual journey, we tend to have this sort of middleman.
Mm.
We feel like we've got two positions. Oh, my infinite nature. Oh no, now I'm trapped. Oh, my infinite nature. Oh, I'm trapped. How do I get back? So we keep creating this little idea of a me, even the spiritual me, the one that's recognizing all the truth. And it's just a little position identification we can adopt with somebody who's walking themselves home. But that whole lost and awakening or woken up or journeying is all appearing in what you are, the infinite, timeless.
But as you say, the infinite is never touched by it.
No, that's why there's just freedom. That's why we're all laughing. Now, I'm not saying I cannot get caught up in that. I mean, not very much, because I don't believe in the character. But there can be pulls, there can be bills, there can be situations. But what I've recognized now, 3.5 years later, I mean, I knew that was untouched, but then the relative was still dancing with
Mm.
drama. And I was like, why is that still dancing with drama? And now I can see what's happening. So it's because we're adopting this lens, and then we're feeding consciousness with the stories. So that's what we're getting. That it's hard, and we've got all this stuff
Yes.
to do. As soon as we drop that, then we're not feeding the narrative anymore, and it doesn't show up.
S- So, I'm checking. Are you saying that I did a lot of personal growth years and years ago, and part of it was that you create your own reality?
Yes,
Yes.
but we believe at that point, if you're not self-realized, that it's the me, the I, that's creating your own reality.
Yes, exactly.
Yes,
Yes,
that's the
I
tricky
have.
bit. And that's the one that thinks it manifests everything.
Yes, and
And
that
to a degree it can, because the infinite being is
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 filtering through it. So
right.
yes, it can have success and it can
Mm.
have failure. It can have, because this is a field of pure potential filtering through this. So it can manifest, and it can have the experience of that.
Mm.
But when we drop that and rest as this, that's where I feel the magic happens. because this is a field of pure potential and we're not limiting it. But so the tricky thing is, what I think was happening for me, on this journey, what we tend to think that happens is, okay, so if I rest here, then that's going to sort itself out. Can you see there's still a
Yes,
limitation?
and that's
Yeah,
yes,
there's a
yes,
trickiness. There's a little bit of a trickiness that
yes.
still hangs around.
Like if I stay as this, life is
Yeah,
going to be
there's
perfect.
still duality in operation.
Yes,
It's
yes,
not as conditioned, but
yes,
it's got an agenda. If
yes,
anything has an agenda, there's an I involved.
yes.
And if there's somebody who thinks they know something, then they've adopted a spiritual I that's got all this information and it can help everybody and do all this. It's just a slightly different version of the one that's lost and can't find its way home. So what I've recognized recently, it's almost like this walking home, that there's no power in the game of duality. Yeah. There's
Yeah,
no power in there, is there? Because that's the movie applied to the screen. It can't do anything without the screen. It doesn't appear without the screen.
right. Yes.
So there's no power. Only the power, the infinite, is giving it.
Mm.
But that power is limited. So that's why it's like, oh, hang on a minute, I can do some things and not others, and it's just not working. And sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't, because it's a limited. So there's no power in the actual game. So you unplug from the game. You rest as what you are. Effortless being, as David points to beautifully. And that's where life is just unfolding. So if there's inspiration to go to Australia, you go, oh, that's interesting. Yeah, it feels like really in my heart, it just feels like a beautiful thing to be doing. Then don't get all limited in the hows and
How,
wherefores.
hows and where's?
Just
Yeah, yeah.
hold that joy of how that would feel. Not like you've got to. So we're not projecting into the power into the game. We are the power. We are the infinite power that manifests. And if the infinite wants to go to Australia, the infinite will be going to Australia. You see, it's not a me that wants to go to Australia.
Yes,
But
yes.
that me can be adopted and then gets in the way of it and makes it all very convoluted. Might still go to Australia, but God, it's been a big old fight.
Mm, mm.
Whereas it could have been effortless.
Because I recognize that it was the me who was wanting, had the thoughts, how am I going to do it? Where am I going to live? Blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, 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 all of that crap. And I recognize that, but uh, as I said, it was just that.
Yeah. I think the frustration was between the two polarities because you already knew what you were.
Mm.
And then the frustration can be because we're like, hang on a minute, there's this confusion, but then there's this clarity. What's this middle ground? What's this push and pull still happening? It's like the doer dies, and that can be an interesting time because we're so used to doing,
Yes,
so
yes,
used to efforting, and so
yes.
it's as if the doer dies. And you're sat there going, hang on a minute, there's then going to be an invitation. Well, if I do nothing, nothing's going to change and I'm going to be in a complete mess. That's again, it's just
Mm.
more little invitations. It's to recognize, well, actually, what's here? There is not like just somebody sat on the sofa doing nothing. There's just pure potential here. When I rest as effortless being, it opens up this whole like excitement, this of how does infinite being now want to play the game when it's unlimited? That's where I feel is the
That's lovely.
yeah.
That's
So there
lovely.
is that sense of this in this openness that there's an aliveness here, awake aliveness,
Mm.
a pure potential. And then when we went to the absolute view, all that sort of dies down because you're recognizing that's attributeless. Remember when we turned towards what we were?
Yes,
And I
yes.
said, what? So we're turning towards what we actually are.
Okay, yes,
And it can't actually be named.
yes.
And we rest as that. There's nothing to be said there. Because what we are just is, it has no attributes. That's our absolute nature, the one self, unmanifested. So it's important to recognize that. But then as we turn as that. And this is where the manifestation and the pure potential is. And then it's as if this, as effortless being, there's all this play. We get to play as effortless being in the pure potential of the moment. The moment is alive and fresh and brand new and ready to burst forth like a seed bursting. So that's where they say the emptiness and the fullness, because
Yeah, yeah.
the absolute just is, it can't be spoken about, but it's empty but full at the same time, full of potential. And so there'll be invitations, there'll be whatever it is, whatever's appearing. And it's not to plug back into it.
Mm. Mm.
It's to say, okay, that's what's appearing. Don't ignore that. There might be some practical things to do, but you're going to get them from wisdom. So when the attention is rested in the heart, this is just how we're talking of the human experience. When attention is rested in the heart, that's where the wisdom will be as well, the knowing. So there will just be something on a very practical level that will appear. But quite a lot of the time, we just get silence. And the mind doesn't like that. It wants to adopt a doer and get cracking. But then you'll see something will appear, an opportunity that you wouldn't have seen when we were doing this. And we're like, oh, I hadn't thought of that. Oh my goodness, I could do it that way. I never would have thought of that. You might look back and some big things in your life just sort of happened.
Mm. Yeah,
You
yeah.
didn't work them out. They
No.
just the road opened two steps and it unfolded very quickly. And they were some of the biggest things in your life. That's what I recognize.
Mm.
Some of the biggest things in your life have just been so effortless.
I was looking for a house in Australia. I'm single, so I didn't buy a house till I was 50. And my friend was in the car with me, and she said, "Just drive down this road." Never driven down the road before. We drove down the road, nice little houses, and driving back up, I saw a guy come out of a house, and I knew he was a real estate agent. I just knew. So I stopped the car. I said, "Is that house for sale?" He said, "Yes." I said, "Could I have a look?" Did I ask the owner? Went in, bought a house.
Oh,
Not
brilliant.
even a sign on the driveway.
Yeah, yeah. You just knowing. You
Just
just
know it.
knew that he was a thing. You didn't need to work it out. And also, there was none of that second, I better not ask. I better not go in today. There was none of that
No,
limitation. You were just in flow.
in
Yeah.
just in the flow, and
Yeah. We're actually limiting it by applying that idea of a me that now has to manage the moment and you know, not get
it's
in.
like the me wants to sort it out for us.
And it just then creates a limited
Yes,
experience rather than flow. So there
yes.
was flow taking place, and then it was shown that I could limit it. And I
Mm,
also had it in a shop once. I went in, and there was a lady at the till, and she was
mm.
very intensely looking at the till. So she didn't look up, and I was just effortless being. I was just there. And then I saw all these lines of all these invitations, but in like rows, all laid out for me to choose. And each one was presented. I could cough to get her attention. I could say, excuse me, in a bit of a narky voice. I could say, hello, in an even more narky voice. I had all these options and I didn't choose any. I could see they were all available. I didn't choose them. And then she turned, looked at me. I said what I wanted. She gave me a left. But I could see I could have said, excuse me,
Yeah, I'm being
hello,
offended.
customers in the house.
Yes,
At
yes.
least look at me. All of these things were being presented. At least acknowledge me. I don't mind you being busy, but just say to me, "Oh, I'll be with you in a minute." How rude. All these things were being presented. And I was
Ah,
and all I could see was just the packages and the things on the shelf, as well as all of this going on. It was like just this field of potential to rest this effortless being. All things arising, the packages, the thing, the lady, I've not made a judgment, I've not picked up anything, or all these lines of experience that I could have had. I recognized them. I'd done them all before, thinking, well, hello, surely you should look at me. Excuse me. Didn't do any of them. And it was,
wow.
I could have left annoyed and grumpy.
Yes,
Yeah, I
yes.
could have adopted any of those. Could have
I've
limited the
seen that
experience.
happen in our time with myself here. a queue, in a queue, and before I would be bullshitting, emergency manager.
Yeah, yeah. But you saw that's an invitation and you could just
Yeah,
rest here and
yeah,
it's effortlessly
yeah,
fine. Not
yeah.
a problem with being in the queue until we pick up the idea it's
Yes,
a problem. Yeah,
yes, yes.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thanks for reaching out. That's fun, isn't it?
Now I can sit and laugh with you.
Oh
It's
dear.
just when those things are going on, and you, I say, buy into it. Um, uh, I was going to say it's hard to get out, but it's not. It's
No, that's another invitation. Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yes. It's not
yes,
hard to get out. It's just dropping
yeah,
it.
yes.
Yes,
It's just, you know what David says, just reclaim your authority. You are the infinite being.
yes.
Don't be afraid to claim that. You are the infinite being.
Mm.
Yeah. And you just rest as that. The recognition of that, you just rest as it. And everything is just actually effortlessly arising. And you can remain in this mode of effortless being, or you can adopt the doer, which is effort. And we just train to adopt the doer, adopt effort. That's what, as a child, come on, you've got to hurry up, you've got to do this, you've got to work hard, you've got to concentrate, you need to think about this. That's just the narrative that's being played out by consciousness. And like we saw, that what we are is actually not even in the game.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
when we go to the absolute view,
Mm.
it's not here. The game isn't even here. I mean, I can't find it unless I create it. I was,
That's true, isn't it? Yeah, yeah,
can you see?
yeah, yeah. There's nothing
Yes.
out there that there's nothing
Yes, projection. There's nothing happening there, but actually
there.
here, no, there is nothing happening. There is just, there's silence, there's stillness, there's just, and now we have to turn towards this and create it all, create a story about what's here. So you see how we filter, those various filters give us a reflection, different reflections. It's hard. I have to work really hard. I have to do this. I have to do that. And it's just those narratives can die now. Yeah, such a relief, isn't it?
Thank you, my dear. Our time is nearly up, and I'm sure we
Um,
have another appointment.
yeah, I have one more and then I've got a group this afternoon.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
What about the groups that you run? Just a quick, right?
And that's 4 to 6 people, where it's just whatever's appearing. There's no
So
real. Literally, we open it up to what's appearing. It's usually. I'm just waiting to see what wants to come through. Basically, we're all resting and being. I maybe do pointers to what's here just to settle us all in what we already are, so that we're in unity consciousness. Not that we never are not, but the attention is home. And then that can be anything from 15 minutes to 20 minutes to half an hour, and then open it up. And people might say, well, that's interesting. I had this arise today. And then we can just look at it. There's no hierarchy. I'm not the one with all the answers, because I may be the one that anchors us all in knowing, I may be the one that anchors us all in what we are. But, it's more, let's have a look together. And then I've got a Sunday I've started doing, which is more a larger group, where I do anything from 20 to 45 minutes of just whatever comes out my mouth. Nothing's organized. I mean, I do put a theme to it that usually comes in the week, and then I just speak from there. And then there's quite a short question and answer. Yeah, so I've got those two things running at the moment.
So can anyone join those? Or it's
So
okay.
the Sunday one, anybody can join. The week ones, which are 4 to 6 people, that's by invitation, people who've spoken to me before, because I quite like it to be, I
Yeah.
know where everybody is. That's just my preference.
Yes. Yeah. Thank
It's
you so much for today.